Hi everyone, I'm sitting here on a gorgeous afternoon when I should be outside soaking up some sunshine, but I'm really inspired to work on this new series of wall art that I did using the Circle Master template. And you can see I've created my lines and I've painted in certain areas. What I'm doing now is actually sorting through a huge stash of black screen printed deli papers that I've been collecting for I don't know how long. And I think that this is going to look pretty cool if I just limit the deli papers to black and white, and along with the colors that are here. So I wanted to kind of show you how I was doing this. And first I recommend you have a heavy body gel medium for this project, because what happens is when you try to adhere the deli paper to textured canvas like that, you need something thicker that will actually stick right away. It'll allow the paper to stick right away, whereas a thin coating of a more liquid type of like Mod Podge or other type of gel medium might be too thin, and it'll take more of it to try and attach your deli paper. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of just filling in these areas with this big block that I have. And how I'm doing this, I'm simply laying my deli paper over the section that I want to fill, and I'm just simply drawing a line along where I'm going to be cutting that. And when I get down here, I'm probably going to just section that off right there. And while I've actually got this lined up, I'm just going to cut right along the edge here. So if I go back over my cut lines, I can see where I've lined this up, and I'm actually going to cut right along this line. And now I'm going to apply that with the heavy body gel medium right there, and then I'll continue building out the rest of that space. So I've got a paintbrush here, and I'm just loading up my brush with the gel medium. And this gel medium's been hanging around for a while, so it's probably a little bit thicker than normal, but it's definitely still working here. So I'm going to just really fill that area with a nice coating, so there's no question that it will adhere. And I'm not worried about my pencil marks. You can see how they're kind of smudging with the gel medium. I think that's fine, and I just want to position my paper exactly where I had cut it and just press it in there. Make sure all the ends are down, and just go on and keep filling that space. So this is what I'm working on. I have a variety of images here, including some words that I had screen printed. Just a whole Mod Podge of stuff, and I'm going to build out these four pieces in the series and see what that looks like. And if I feel I need to add any more embellishment, I'll come back and revisit that. Well, I'm continuing to build out the designs on top of my series of canvases here that I made with the Circle Master template, and I'm thinking I might start adding a tiny bit of blue of my Faber-Castell gelatos here, and I'm just kind of taking an overall look to see where I want to develop more details on my design. Well, I'm pretty much finishing up my my set of wall art that I did with the Circle Master template and my screen printed deli papers, which are all the black and white that you see here. After I used the lime green paint from Dina Wakley and her, I think it's the magenta. I went back, no, it's violet. I went back in and added some of the gelatos, and I used those to kind of blend in the corners and to create some shading. And then on top of that, I used this Dale Roney Pearlescence ink, so you can see in areas that I've just dropped that lime. Actually, this color is Genesis Green. It's really cool. Dropped it, you know, in certain areas, and I've gone back and, you know, highlighted some of these with black pen, and I have yet to do a few of these. But so that's pretty much going to be it, and the only thing I have left to do is just go around my edges and kind of create a nice consistent, you know, shade around everything, so that when I hang them together on the wall, they'll look much better if you see the sides of it. So anyways, I'll post additional pictures close up so you can see what I did. And it's a really fun project. It's great for any of the deli papers that you've already printed to. It's a great way of using up some of those papers. Here is one more example that I wanted to show you that I did with the Circle Master template and deli paper. I actually did this on watercolor paper, and but next time I'm going to do it directly on the canvas. But you can see how I have these pieces of deli printed papers, and these were actually some of Barbara's from Joggles. And I created the circles and placed my centerpiece of deli paper. I just love this design so much that I wanted that in the very center of my design. And then I used the straight lines of the Circle Master template to create some dividing lines. And then I just used additional deli paper and traced over just these sections and cut those and glued them on. So, and then I just went around it additionally with the gold Sharpie paint pen. So there's many different ways you can apply deli paper using the Circle Master template, and you know, any different kinds of shapes and sections that you want from your circles. So this is just one more example of, again, using printed deli paper.